Hey everybody, it's book report day, and this week I'm going to tell you about one of the best business books I ever read. My clients always report back how much they love reading this book and how much it's changing their business and how influential this book was in my life. Hey everybody, Ryan Gromfin, author, speaker, chef, restaurateur, and the founder of therestaurantboss.com as well as clickbacon.com. This week, I want to tell you about a book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Now, I will never forget, I was sitting at my parent-in-law's, my mother and father-in-law's house about 12, 13 years ago, maybe more, and I was a little bored sitting on the couch, and there was a book on the end table, and I picked it up, never heard of it, called The E-Myth, and I started flipping through the book. I'm like, wow, this book has some great information in it. So that day, I went into my Audible account. By the way, if you're not members of Audible, click on over and make sure you're watching this video on my website, and right below the video is a link for you to get a free subscription to Audible for, I think, 1 month free, one book free. It's the most amazing service ever. I love it. But I listened to this book so quick, and it totally changed my life. See, previous to this book, I'd always listened to personal development books. I've been really heavily involved in personal development for a long time, but I wasn't really reading business books. This was the first business book that I read. And wow, was it powerful. I'm going to give you a quick 2 to 3 minute overview, but I highly suggest you read The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. I think the most recent version is now called The E-Myth Revisited, but either one is going to be great. Check it out. Let me tell you a little bit about what I learned from The E-Myth and kind of what the whole story behind The E-Myth is right now. Okay, so the basic idea behind The E-Myth by Michael Gerber is this idea of a technician, an entrepreneur, and a manager. See, the reason most small businesses don't work is that they're run by a technician. The technician knows the technical work involved in a job. The entrepreneur and the manager are equally as important, but very, very different. The reason most small businesses don't work is that they are run by a technician, like I said before. These are separate people, but they have distinct elements and different personalities. We might be biased toward one, but we all have all of them. To successfully run a business, they must all play a role. The technician, the entrepreneur, and the manager. I'm going to explain what those are here. See, the technician is someone like a bicycle mechanic, a computer programmer, a cook, a chef. They're an expert at his or her craft. This often leads people to go into business for themselves, right? Like, you're a great chef, you're a great cook, you're a great sommelier, you love food, you decided you wanted to go into business by yourself. The technician is happiest doing the work they're good at and ignoring the rest, which is in the end a recipe for failure, right? A lot of times when chefs open up restaurants, they spend a lot of time in the kitchen. When front of the house people open up restaurants, they spend a lot of time in the front of the house. If you're none of those, if you're just like a customer person and you love customers and you decided to open up a restaurant, you probably spend a lot of your time talking with customers, but we're ignoring some of the other aspects of our business. So the entrepreneur is the dreamer, the one who sets out to do something new, who reaches for the stars. The entrepreneur lives in the future thinking about what could be rather than living in the present. You ever feel like that? The entrepreneur is often frustrated by how slow the world seems to move. How many times do you feel like things aren't happening fast enough? Things need to move faster. Things need to move faster, right? So the manager is very detail-oriented. They dot the I's and cross the T's. They're the one who remembers to pay the bills. Well, sometimes. Managers want a well-organized world with no surprises, a world where things happen in an orderly and predictable manner, right? This all sounds great. We're all trying to hire that manager, but maybe we're not doing a very good job of that ourselves. So let me just quickly kind of bring this all together and share with you the whole idea behind this book. All of these components are necessary in the founder of a business, right? You have to be able to be the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. However, without the entrepreneur, you might as well keep working for someone else as a technician, right? If you didn't have that entrepreneurial spirit, you wouldn't go and do this on your own anyways. But without the technical ability, the entrepreneur must rely on others to get anything done. You ever feel like that? Like you're this great entrepreneur and you got all these great ideas, but you're having trouble hiring a great manager, right? You ever heard that? Or you're having trouble hiring a great chef. Without the organizational abilities of the manager, the other two would find themselves with the electricity in the office turned off because they forgot to pay the bills. So the whole idea here behind the E-Myth, I just want to go back here quickly. The whole idea is that in order to run a successful business, we need technicians, we need entrepreneurs, and we need managers. The challenge is who's filling those roles? Are you filling those roles, and are you fulfilling each role in its responsibility, or are you spending too much time in one of them? I want you to read the book. It talks about how to transition from one to the other, where to spend your time, how to do it. It's a phenomenal book, and I really, really hope you enjoy it. Again, if you're over on my blog watching this video, you could click below the video to get a free copy or to get a free trial at Audible, as well as to get a copy of this book, The E-Myth, and you could listen to it if you don't like to read. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next week with another great video. I want to thank you for watching that video. If you can do me 3 really quick favors right now, very quick. The first is, if you haven't already, will you subscribe to this channel? In a moment, some things are going to pop up on your screen, some buttons, and one of those buttons is going to be subscribe. So whether you're watching this on my channel or on YouTube or on your phone, just stick around for 1 second and you're going to see a big subscribe button. If you haven't already, could you please subscribe? 2, if you haven't liked this video, will you go ahead and click the like button? Actually, don't just click it. Will you smash that like button and tell the world that you really enjoy this? Because the way that I can continue to bring you all this great free training is for my message to expand, for more restaurant owners and future restaurant owners around the world to be watching this. And so the way to do that is to like my video. So again, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a place for you to like it. Or if you're back on my website, there'll be a place for you to like that. So smash that like button for me. And then also, could you leave a comment? Ask me a question. I reply to all my comments as fast as I can, usually within about 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But go ahead and ask me a question, leave me a comment, tell me you love the video, tell me you'd like to see something else in a video. If you need more detail on a certain area, I can film other videos about that. But if you can go ahead in a couple seconds now, it's gonna come out. If you can subscribe, like, and comment, that would be great. Also, there'll be a spot in this little button coming out in a few seconds where you can download something for free. I'm always rotating that, so take a look at that, some free tools. But if you're new to my channel, if you've never seen my videos before, there'll also be a spot for you to watch a video that'll kind of introduce you to what I do here at The Restaurant Boss and at clickbacon.com and tell you about what we do and how you can get more involved and how you can get more free stuff and all that. So the buttons should be coming in by now. Go ahead and click on those and have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you so much.